saving money can improve your life.
There's great freedom in not having a mortgage and not having any bills.
But some people take it to the extreme.
Having a shower with rainwater that is free, that I haven't paid for it, that's the biggest excitement.
And I'm going to show you how they live. There'll be tips I hope will inspire you.
So we thought, why not try and get past the system that was going to cost us money and, in effect, save us some money.
And some that may just horrify you.
Reusable toilet roll feels a little scary to start off with.
Tonight, we'll meet Abby, who lived in a garage.
Living in the garage, I was able to save just under £1,000 a month.
Julie, who gets paid to speak her mind.
It soon became apparent, the more money rolled in, that I could actually pay for the holidays rather than just contributing to them.
And Yuki, who forages to feed her family.
I live so richly without having to spend a lot of money.
As we meet my extreme savers! Tonight, let's start with 36-year-old Abby, the garage girl drown from Cornwall. After going around in circles, unable to buy a house, she took an extreme approach. It meant Abby went from drowning in debt to owning her own home in just 2.5 years.
Going way back, I used to spend money like I didn't really care about it. So I would get paid and my bank balance would go back to zero. One day I was at work and I got a bank loan of like 5,000. It took 5 minutes to get. And that just went on going out. I thought I still want that money, so I got another 5,000. So I just spent money and didn't really care about the consequences of it either.
Abby began to realise the error of her ways when she split up with her boyfriend and had to leave the home they shared.
I moved into the house share. It was fine, but I was living with strangers. I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to have my own house.
With £2,000 worth of debt and £15,000 needed to secure a deposit on a house, for the first time in her life, Abby got serious about saving.
My sister said to me, oh, I wish there was just something I could do for you, Abs. I think she sort of joked at the time to say, oh, you could live in the garage, because she had 2 young kids at the time and didn't have enough room for me in the actual house. And she went on holiday and I called her and I said, is it actually OK if I moved into your garage? And she was like, yeah. So she went on holiday and I moved in. Once I was in the garage, I didn't have any outgoings. I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy any new clothes or anything like that, and just put all the money I had into a savings account for the deposit for the house.
Going cold turkey on spending is good. Sacrificing your standard of living by sleeping in a garage is extreme.
Living in the garage, I was able to save just under £1,000 a month. The thing that kept me going was the motivation to save for the house, because once I had my heart set on it, I was just really determined to go and get it. I just told myself it was just a place to lay my head, because I spent the evening upstairs with my sister and her family, and I would be at work in the daytime as well, so I do think it was well worth it. My niece even thought that everyone had a mummy, a daddy and an auntie house that lived in a garage at one point as well.
2.5 years later, Abby realised her dream of being debt-free and a homeowner.
It was quite funny how it worked out, really, because I found the house that I would like, but it was just a plot at the time. It wasn't even built. And then by the time I had the deposit, the house was ready, so it all just fell into place really nicely.
Abby's attitude to money, honed in that austere garage living, has continued. She's not the old big spender she used to be. She furnished her entire house by hunting out the best deals and bargains, and any spare money now goes towards making overpayments on her mortgage. That saving habit, so hard earned and fought for, is paying off dividends now.
My mortgage payments are £388 a month. So what I've been doing this year is just saving extra to pay off a chunk of my mortgage. So I'm going to be paying off £7,000 this year. It's just really nice to have a place that you can come back to and call your own.
It's lovely, isn't it? But I'll be honest with you, I wrestled with myself over whether to include Abby's story in the programme. Because in some circumstances, living in a garage comes close to meeting the technical definition of homelessness. It's not something anybody should be taking lightly, and there can be permission issues too. But in Abby's case, she made an active decision to do it, and she had access to other facilities that make it more of a home too. And it's worth noting, if she can continue her current levels of mortgage overpayment, she could be mortgage-free within a decade, having saved over 10 grand in interest. Now for this week's money-saving mission. This show may be about extreme savers, but I also want to give everyday folk a taste of the extreme. And the best part, our volunteers have no idea what they're in for. This mission takes us to the London home of Jules Stokes. Your money-saving challenge, should you choose to accept it, is to walk around your house and sell everything you've not used or worn within the last year for as much money as possible. This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds, or you could try and flog it. Good luck!
I'm not really sure if I want to do that, actually. I'm a hoarder, so I'm not going to... I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know, though. I've got a lot of junk, so maybe I could sell 10 dresses and I wouldn't even miss them. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Maybe it's a good idea, maybe it's not. I don't know.
Oh dear, are the wheels going to come off this one before we've even started?
I think Martin probably does know me very well. And actually, maybe in a way he's doing me a favour because I totally need a declutter of my flat. If your home is a reflection of what's going on in your brain, then I am in serious trouble. And if I can make some money, I'm willing to accept the challenge.
The first thing Jill needs to do is identify what she never uses. Just think of the space she can reclaim.
Never worn that.
Look, shops do an annual stock take, and I actually think it's good practice that we do the same, because our capital, our wealth, is tied up in the things that we own. So if we never use them, it's a waste. You may as well sell your stuff and use the money to buy things that you'd actually use or would at least make you happy. I'll show you how Jewel gets on with that later. Now meet 47-year-old Julie. I'll give you a piece of my mind. Ike from Worksop. Julie is one of a growing band who make money from constantly taking part in surveys. She's already netted over 5 grand. It all started when she was made redundant.
I'd always done a few surveys in the past, but I thought now is the time I can focus more on it. And the idea was that I could then contribute to our holiday fund. But it soon became apparent, the more money rolled in, that I could actually pay for the holidays rather than just contributing to them. Some of the surveys pay by points and others pay by cash. Others pay by vouchers. Within a few months, it had got up to £400 a month. This particular month, I've had a really good month, and we're going to look like possibly more like £600–700 for this month. But yeah, it's certainly achieved more than I expected.
Julie does a range of subtly different things. There's online surveys.
It could be have a Zoom phone call with somebody from a company that wants you to review their latest app, and they just want you to try it out.
There's mystery shopping.
It might be to go to a local garden centre and take some pictures of the plants on display, or it might be to go to a local supermarket and take pictures of a particular rack of sweets. And also you get some that are more descriptive and just want like local landmarks. So we go out and take a picture of them.
That's often because firms want to know if their products are being displayed correctly. She also does lifestyle feedback.
It can be things like taking a picture of the products you're going to use in the shower that morning. One of them is like, tell us what you're doing with your pet. And you just take a picture of your pet with whatever you're doing, upload it, and then it pays. And then there's other tasks that are more of a long-term commitment. So one I'm doing currently, every Friday and Sunday evening, I have to weigh 10 household products that they've specified, upload it, and it's a 6-month project, and they're paying $550. You could see in an app whether your cakes have gone brown and whether they're done or not.
Julie spends several hours a day doing all this, mainly from the comfort of her own home.
If, say, you're boiling potatoes and the water boils over, that the gas cuts out automatically.
As it's a hobby, not a job, she can fit it around her daily life, and the financial rewards are pretty decent for a hobby.
We booked and paid for our holiday to Lanzarote, which was $2,100 for the two of us. We've had 2 UK holidays this year, and they were altogether £1,000 for both of them. And as I say, we've just got back up to £3,000 now in the bank, ready to pay for our next holiday. And that's just cash. There's then vouchers on top of that as well. I save up the vouchers, and earlier in the year we bought a hot tub, which was £400 worth of Argos vouchers, earning the money without actually what I would call a proper job. Anybody can do it. You can do it from home. You can build it round your children or your housework. For me, nothing is too small because it all adds up in the long run. And the more you go at it, the more you'll find that more doors open up in surveys, and you'll get longer surveys, better paid surveys. But you've got to put that commitment in at the start.
If you fancy it, there are loads of firms looking for people to do surveys, and you can find full lists online. 2 quick tips. 1, always use a separate email. It helps you with spam issues. And 2, as soon as you earn cash and points and you can take the money out, take the money out. That way, you can't have any solvency issues with the survey firm. Coming up after the break, we meet the woman who forages to feed her family.
Oh, lovely.
Welcome back. Let's quickly pop into this week's money-saving mission now. Remember, I challenged Hoarder Jewel to consider selling everything in her house she's not used or worn in the last year. So, how's she getting on decluttering that very cluttered flat of hers?
I am surrounded by clutter. Look at all these shoes and bits. I was just surrounded by so much stuff, but hopefully I will sell some more next week. These shoes here, someone's watching these, so hopefully they will go. Someone is also coming to look at the TV in a bit, so hopefully they take it, please. Electronic items, now you literally have to pay someone to take them away, let alone sell them. So fingers crossed, at least I get a few quid for it.
Will Jewel get any takers? We'll find out later. Our next extreme saver believes good food shouldn't cost or hurt the earth. 48-year-old Yuki, the wild woman, Soye from Surrey, has slashed hundreds of pounds off her family's food bills without compromising on taste.
My passion in this is that you don't have to spend a lot to eat really well and live like a king.
Yuki may look mild-mannered, but this is a woman who's at home in the wild, and she manages to save money from it. Yes, Yuki is...
Oh, nettle beer. Delicious.
a forager.
I love this one. This is my favourite this year. I love cooking. I love food.
Oh, look, it's pasta.
Oh, lovely. When I was growing up, I think my mum used to spot wild herbs. Since I've moved to Surrey, I have a lot more friends who are foragers, and it's really sparked an interest. And then those little fine green seeds are...
Nettle seeds?
lovely.
Can I eat my fingers?
Yes, you can.
Foraging isn't something I've really looked into, so I was fascinated when Yuki told me what she was doing. And it does save her plenty of money, but at its core, it's a lifestyle choice.
That tastes amazing. Very rich. I can taste the nettles. I've got the richness of the nuts that makes it really creamy. There is dandelions. There's sloes. Hawthorn berries are amazing. There's wild garlic. There's elderflower. Ooh, lady smock. There's a lovely herb called wood arvens, which is herb Bennett. We literally go out on our bikes or we're just kind of enjoying the countryside, and it's literally things that we notice. One of us will say, oh, look.
Is it edible? I don't mind if mine's the...
So how many are you on, Emily?
It's not about phones and iPads, it's about connecting with nature.
This is wild garlic. It's a really kind of longish leaf with a long stem. As soon as you pick it, you can really smell the kind of garlicky, oniony smell. These are wild garlic buds. When they're pickled, they're kind of quite crunchy. So they're crunchy, they're sweet, they're sour, really good on a cheese board. You need to 100% know what you're picking. You know, it can be really dangerous if you have any lookalikes. You think it's that thing, you think it's wild garlic, but there's actually one called Lord and Ladies that looks like wild garlic, but it absolutely is poisonous. Make sure there's a real abundance of it. If it's a little patch, just walk away, let it do its thing, because, you know, it's not just for us, it's for creatures. If you want the same patch here next year, you don't take it all. In terms of public spaces, you're okay to pick for personal use only, not commercial use. It really is important to be safe. If in doubt, leave it out.
Where things can't be foraged, Yuki grows them for free in her garden, rather than buying them from the supermarket. It's a growing trend, literally.
I've really enjoyed my garden this year, and again, like foraging, it grows year on year, and I do different things, like parsley, basil. I've got sage, thyme, lemon balm, tomatoes. I've done pears this year, and even kohlrabi. So I've had a real season of different things.
And if there's still something she needs, Yuki will try not to go to the supermarket just yet.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Yuki.
I've got this dandelion vinegar here.
She'll just turn to her trusty network of neighbours instead.
I actually was about to bring something over to you.
Oh,
I've got some
fab.
hot ketchup.
Oh, whole ketchup. That's amazing, because it's not in season now, is it? So
We kind of trade, you know, different things according to what we have, and it really kind of builds community, and we get a chance to try out different things.
Brilliant. OK, bye.
Bye.
Foraging, growing her own, and trading with neighbours saves Yuki a fortune on her food bill.
I think I could probably go through a week without having to go to a supermarket for the bulk of my shop.
Ooh.
It really smells of like spinach. Things like milk, cheese, eggs, I'll probably need a shop like that. I've basically spent about £20 in a week before, and the rest of it I've used from the garden and foraged. In the course of a year, that's a few £100s that I'm saving. I mean, I live so richly without having to spend a lot of money, and that is my passion.
Now for the results of this week's money-saving challenge. Has our Jewel managed to part with any of her stuff?
I was totally overwhelmed at first, the challenge. I just thought, I can't do this, it's impossible. I started uploading lots of things to an online selling site, and just uploaded as many things as I could, but it just took such a long time. Taking the best photos. Yeah, I just thought, I'm never gonna do this, and I really started to panic. I was really panicking. Every person that I saw, I said, do you want a telly? Everyone was like, will you stop going on about this bloody telly? But I just thought, if I keep working every day consistently, it will pay off. So I just kept uploading stuff. I have just received an offer for a jacket, for a silver jacket. So hopefully she'll pay me today, and it's another thing that I can get in the post. So it's really exciting and doing really well with this. I've put them on eBay for £18. That's still a bargain. That's still a bargain. So they've got a good deal, I've got a good deal.
Remember, Jules' challenge was to consider selling everything she's not worn or used in the last year. But Jewel is a woman who hates to part with anything. And it's fair to say that this exercise has been a struggle for her.
I just find it really hard to get rid of clothes. They mean sentimental value to me. I sold this jacket that I really, really like, and then I ended up cancelling the order because I thought, no, why have I sold this jacket? And then I had to apologise to the guy because then I realised this is completely the wrong way to do this. That was a turning point because it made me realise if I've sold something, I have to commit to that and I have to let it go. So that was the difficult bit. And then once I had sorted that order out and I'd let that coat go, then things started to move and I started to sell more stuff. I've sold a couple of old coats, I've sold quite a few pairs of old shoes, I've sold a television set, I've sold some tops, I've sold a dress.
Jules has made a few £100, but more, it's about breaking the habit of buying stuff you won't use and hanging on to it for no good reason. It's a good start, and one that hopefully Jules can build on now she's learning to let things go.
I don't feel it was an epic success. For me, I would like to make a lot more money, but I feel it's not an epic fail. In fact, I can see there's a lot of positives for the future, and it's something that I could carry on doing.
Hey, it's not a failure, it's a learning experience. Now look, the point of these challenges isn't that you should be doing them all the time. It's a way to test yourself so you can expose what habits you want to change and what you don't. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've got an extreme saving technique you'd like to share with us, do get in touch at extremesavers@itv.com, or I'll see you on social.
Coming up next week, the family who've gone completely off-grid, and the fashionista who never, ever, ever buys new clothes.